And I think providing the body with a lot of good dietary fats helps to cleanse the fat cells, right? You know, when you have a client that comes to you and they're, what are you going to call fat, right? You know, to a different degree, right? They want to hear the truth. They didn't get that way overnight. They built up a lot of garbage from fried this and fried that. That stuff sticks in the cells, especially trans fats. It retards the fat cell function. How are you going to get rid of it? Well, it takes time. And one of the good ways to do it is if you give fat cells things they want, they take in good stuff, kick out bad stuff, they collectively shrink in size. That's an important way to lose body fat. But not a lot of people recognize it. They think everything is calories in, calories out. I don't care what you're doing. If your fat cell function is really poor, you're going to have a very hard time losing body fat. And Dr. Serrano's been talking about fat loading in different ways going back many years, long before anybody else was talking about it. So that's definitely his invention. So again, a base day, right? Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. Pretty similar, but you want to change the food sources. They have some variety. Again, you can give them menus. I can give you guys a lot of that. And I do believe fasting works very well. Right? If you can tell them, don't eat after dinner until lunch the next day, surprisingly, most people are pretty compliant with that. It's not that hard. Obviously, part of that time they're sleeping. They're in a rush in the morning, so, you know, it's not that hard to do. And we do use the 100% MR, the muscle synthesis powder, right? I do have vested interest in those, right, being transparent. But the proprietary ratios do a great job of enhancing fat burning. They get rid of cravings, they improve energy levels, and you can see yourself, you know, the research-driven, the ratios that Dr. Serrano developed, and sequencing makes a big difference. Try it yourself. The success calendar, after a lot of years of frustration, wondering what a client was actually doing with their execution, after hearing hours and hours of complaints from, you know, those percentage of your clients that are very difficult to make happy. So I print out a calendar and I can send it all to you. And they have to check off training, nutrition, and maybe one or two other factors and grade themselves on a daily basis. If you won't give me your 30-day calendar, you're fired. If you can't take the time to check off or to grade yourself and show me that you're doing your job, we're done, right? I mean, it's got to be a two-way street. If you want to complain, you at least got to give me the ability to see what it is that you're doing. So when clients give it to me, the average person executes at around 70%, right? Oh, well, you know, that's right, I didn't train that week. Or, you know, they have all these different things. Now, you can use this as an opportunity, not to drop the hammer on them, but to show them that their compliance can be a lot better, and that definitely correlates with a better result, right? The more consistently they do what you tell them to do with diet, show up for their training sessions, they're going to do better, and it's a good reality check. So when they get to about 90% or above, the results are going to be much better, and it's a good tool for them to have, and it's pretty easy to do. So you guys can read all that, you'll get a copy of this. But a big one, it was interesting, Dr. Walsh was talking a lot about the social component and people being depressed, and dieting or trying to lose body fat can be a very lonely space for a lot of these people who have been overweight for a long time. Maybe they're successful in other aspects of their life, and I have a lot of business people like that. Very wealthy, they don't like the way they look. They don't feel good, and then they're like, well, one of the social things I have is around eating. Well, you know, with carb loading and fat loading on those certain days of the week, they can go out with their friends. They've got to choose some different food choices, but it is supposed to be a higher caloric intake day to serve as a big contrast to other days. So that social component is very important for people to keep them on a plan long enough so they can see the results. That's important. Mood's much better. You know, I track all these things from people all over. How do they feel? They felt really good on this. I think those loading days make them feel very good for several days in a row, and that's very important as well. Consistent execution. You know, again, that's a big thing. We'll get to another slide on that.